Hey, I'm Katie.
And wait a minute.
Yeah.
No, I'm Katie.
All right. For those longtime listeners that have stuck with us, you know, this is JD.
And I'm Katie. And we are best friends who love to laugh.
And poke fun at each other. This is Katie and JD Laugh Out Loud.
Thank you very much for tuning in for this episode.
In this episode, we are chatting about some diverse topics with our friend of ours, WC. She is a special guest that we have on to discuss a variety of things.
So, join in the convo and laugh with us.
This is Katie and JD Laugh Out Loud.
Welcome to Katie and JD Laugh Out Loud, the podcast, where we crack ourselves up and then chat about random things like stories and music and different things like that. We made it to our season 1 finale.
Phew! We are finally there. Thank goodness.
Hey.
What?
Calm down. It's only our first season. We're good.
Okay, I'm just really excited because we've been talking about our podcast for so long, and then we finally got to our podcast, and we recorded the podcast like a year ago, and then we finally got to get it up in the air and out there for the world to hear.
Yes. Okay. Calm down.
And now it's the season 1 finale.
Yeah, we have lots for them to listen to, and our next season will be coming up soon. So stay tuned on our social media platforms to see it. Make sure you subscribe to our, well, we don't really have Twitter. We don't use Twitter. But subscribe.
Side-eyes me because I'm in charge of that.
we subscribe to our Instagram and our TikToks.
Yes, that we are definitely on.
We're on those, and we make funny videos, and
I'd answer emails if anyone sent one to me.
And we try to, promote the podcast a little bit. But yeah, plenty of platforms for you to come and join us on.
All right. You're right. Thank you. Yes, this episode is amazing.
I know I'm right. Just so you know.
Okay, calm down now. I know I get to say calm down. So you're right. Today in our episode, we wanted to talk with someone who's close to us. They are both our friend and our cousin, WC.
Yes. We talk about a lot of interesting topics like tattoos, parental control, pump, and
men and women, pump. and so much
more. We just finished watching a Brooklyn Nine-Nine episode with Holt saying that, and he's just like pump.
And does the eyebrows, in case you can't see her eyebrows since we're being voice recorded. But in this episode, our points are moot.
Get it?
We just wanted to talk about things that, what goes around comes around.
Yeah. Okay. We don't want to give too much away in this.
Okay. All right.
So.
Sorry.
All right. Let's get into that recording then. Let's play that recording for them.
Sure. Let's.
So today we have a special guest. Hey. Honored guest. Her name is...
We're going to keep that very, very common.
WC.
It's WC.
WC's in the house with JD. Yeah. Here she is.
We didn't ask her if she
wanted her show. She didn't sign a waiver. We're just taking her voice.
Well, she's 18, right?
That's true. It's legal.
I approve. This is okay.
So on this episode, we're going to talk about some pretty heavy topics just to get our blood flowing and our everything going. 1, 2, 3.
Controversy.
It's a controversial topic.
What is a controversial topic? What's the first thing that comes to your mind when I say controversial topic?
Things that people don't agree about.
Ugh, right?
The worst.
Like pineapple on pizza.
Well, yes, that's controversial, but it's not super duper controversial. That's just like people being weird about it.
Washcloth or loofah?
Washcloth.
What do you got?
A washcloth for face, loofah for body.
Interesting. She does.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You're washed with the loofah. I just there's certain area parts that I don't prefer a loofah. I just feel it won't wash my body as cleanly as I need it to do it.
It works for me.
It works for me. Late nights or early mornings?
Well, that's not controversial. It's
Are you
just
sure?
preference.
It's just preference, Jude.
Yeah, but then people can get in controversy about it.
How? How would they be in controversy about late nights?
We are right now. You're arguing with me about it.
We're arguing about if it's controversial or not the actual topics themselves.
Boom.
Put your arms down.
Okay, you got one?
Say what?
Controversial topic?
Controversial topic. Men versus women.
Oh.
The pay between men and women. Controversial topic.
Very controversial.
Mhm.
Very. Yeah. Whether
The treatment of men and women.
treatment of men and women.
Men and women in sports.
Men and women in sports. That's
And other genders also.
Okay, we're a Christian podcast. We can talk about this.
It's okay. Yes, we're a Christian podcast. We love first. Let's show love
Men
first.
and women.
Yeah.
That's how God created us.
Yes.
Period.
On that.
So,
yeah,
we were just chatting about, as we are three women, and the way that our families might treat us, or the way that, society treats us, and the way we're expected to be, and how controversial that is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the controversy between parents and children.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Even at our grown age.
Even at our grown age.
Yeah. It's like, were you about to? Okay.
What were you going to say?
No.
We're saying I'm not grown.
No. That wasn't it.
I was going to say the other word wrong. At age.
No.
She's like, you were busy.
No. I mean, you could say that. We're grown.
We are grown. Gosh darn it.
I don't get where he grown when he's like, gosh darn it, like that.
Oh, man.
Gosh darn it. I'm a grown woman.
Sometimes your parents are just very overprotective because we are girls. Now listen, I love my parents very much. And they're great, but they definitely have a different relationship and view with the two boys in my family as opposed to the 6 girls.
Same with me, and me being the only girl and having 2 younger brothers. Or 3, but like with my mom is 2 younger brothers.
Also me being the youngest girl in my family.
The baby girl.
The baby, yeah.
Yeah, so we come from all walks. I'm the oldest, she's the youngest, and you're in the middle.
I'm in the middle. JD's in the middle.
JD's in the middle.
But right now I'm on the side.
WC.
WC.
Yeah, so we were kind of talking about like these different topics, and we're like, you know what? Let's start recording it and then jotting our thoughts down because we're in the moment. So we're feeling it. WC had a lot of
emotions about it.
And
because she is still a teenager, technically. We did say her age earlier, but she's also an adult.
Yeah.
And it's challenging.
I'm a young adult.
It's
an
challenging.
adult in so many different countries, by the way.
In many places.
Many places.
I'm legal to drink in Jamaica.
This is true. Someone's brother found that out.
No, I found that out, and I was like, my typing fingers. I texted my brothers, and I was like, eyeballs. Drink in the eyeball emoji. That's what I did. Anyway, but yes, what were you saying?
Sometimes you just want to go out with your friends.
Yeah. Right. Well, then are we talking about the friends or are we talking about the tattoos?
Whatever you want to talk to.
Let's talk about the friends first, and then we can tattoo controversial.
Okay, I got you. So we were talking about how when I go out with my friends, my parents are always texting me, like, where are you going? Like, even though I already told them, while my brother will be out until like late, and they don't ask him any questions. I'm at my friend's house at like 10:30, and they're just blowing up my phone. So sometimes that's a little annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, like, where you be, girl? Come on.
What you
I
at?
just told you like an hour ago.
I just gave you this information. Do I really need to tell you again?
Right.
And you see my location, so.
Yeah.
You know, we all get tracked.
This is true.
That's the other thing.
That's the other thing.
With my friends, we go out to eat. We decide to go hang out here.
Yeah.
And then we decide to go back to their house.
Yeah.
But my parents that whole time will be like, why aren't you telling me where you're going? And I'm like, you can track me. Just look at my phone.
That's where I'm going.
So, yeah. That's also...
Yeah.
So they know you went somewhere because they're asking you, why didn't you tell me where you're going?
Exactly. So they
as
knew that
opposed
you
to-
were somewhere else. Yeah.
So you were just watching me, and then it's like, all right, well, then that's where I went.
Yeah.
Why do you need to ask me?
Exactly.
And you can see that I'm back at my friend's house now. So
This one time, this reminds me of this one time. Like, I think we were coming back from like either a Christmas celebration at church or something. It was like Christmas Eve.
okay.
It's Christmas Eve a few years ago, and I was driving, and my mom
Oh,
was
yes.
on the phone with me.
No,
She was on the phone. I thought.
no. You were just driving, and she called you,
Oh, I was just driving, and she called me,
and she
and
goes,
she's like,
"Why are you at a cemetery?
"What?"
It's Christmas Eve." And she's like, "What?"
I was like, "What?" And she
Because you know how in Haddam it's like really bad service,
Yeah,
so it
they
didn't
just cut down.
reshare.
yes. So I had already passed.
She was
the
way
cemetery.
past. She was just driving past because you drive, and her mom's like, "Why are you at a cemetery?" And she's like,
I'm like, what?
"What are you talking about?"
She's like, your location says you're at a cemetery. And I was like, no, Mom, I drove past one. It was just funny. But yeah, parents.
Wait. Remember that time that because your mom shares her location with you, right? And she went to New York to surprise you, but had to shut off her location sharing. So
No, she didn't have to. She decided to shut it off because she didn't want me to know that she was coming to New York.
Right.
And I was like, Mom, I do not check.
Not like you do.
I don't check my location and your location as often as you think. Like, I just don't. And
But because she thought that Kira was going to check a bunch of times, she shut it off, which actually notified her that she stopped sharing her location with her. And Kira's like, "Why'd you stop sharing your location with her?" She's like, "Oh, I was trying to surprise you." But I ended up just notifying you that I stopped sharing the location. He was like, "Why is it? I don't check like that."
It was so weird. But when I do check sometimes, I'm like, oh, she's in New York and didn't tell me.
Yes.
That
So
one
now,
happened
ever
one
since
time.
then, she's checked more often.
I've checked more often because of her
Because of her-
antics. Because of what she's done.
Where are you, Mom?
I'm in
Florida. What?
I'm in the time frame of age where now I feel like I have to protect my older parents. Like,
You
my parents are
switch.
older, so it's like I gotta be a little bit more like, oh, what are you doing and why are you there? Why aren't you answering my phone? It's the same thing. So I'll be like,
It'll
why aren't
switch
you
right
answering my
away.
phone? Why aren't you answering my text? Where are you? Why are you in Florida? Why are you in New York? What's going on? Why are you in Boca? What's going on? I'm like, mother.
It's like, "Oh, I didn't tell you about my trip." No, you didn't tell me about your trip.
Facts. But now,
Wow.
yeah, you're in that space because you're younger. It's like, oh, where are you? Why didn't you come home? It's 10
But
o'clock.
yeah, it's not right that your brother doesn't get bothered the same
No.
way that you get bothered
No.
when it's like you've actually told them the information they needed to know. And then they might have forgotten some of it because, parents get older and they forget things.
This is true.
That's for sure.
Goes in one ear and out the other sometimes.
Right.
They mean well, but it comes off weird.
Right. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
It does because, like, okay, for this other story I have, I'm not going to get upset. It's like 10 years ago, probably. And I wanted to drive my car from one state to the other by myself because I was a licensed driver and I was well old enough.
And it was your car.
And it was my car. And I couldn't do that because I'm a female. I'm a woman, and it was just dangerous to be driving your car alone without anybody. And I was like, I will be driving during the day. I will be meeting people, and I will be like, you can watch me. This is like, we're at the same kind of time. 10 years ago, you could still track people. You could still, I said I could check in with you along my trip whenever I get gas, whatever, like all the things. And my younger brother, who's 5 years younger than me, wouldn't have had an issue. They were like, what if my brother wanted to do this? They're like, oh, well, he's a boy. I said, what? I was like, I'm ready.
I love how the answer was, well, he's a boy. That's my favorite.
Because
Because it's the facts of life.
At least they're upfront and honest. Like,
Yeah.
Upfront and honest and brutal. That's
Yeah.
it's brutal. How dare you?
So all WC wants to do is bring her car to school,
She wants to because she's a
but
good
she also
driver.
doesn't want to.
yeah.
It's a mixed feeling, but
Safe driver. She knows what she's doing. She's not going to be driving out crazy late.
and they'll still ask her where she's going,
Probably.
even if she doesn't have a car.
But not as much, probably. Like, because she'll be away. They'll probably try and...
WC's like, I hope not.
Well, this is...
I just won't answer.
talk about, like,
Then they'll show up 2 hours late.
first college experience, being away from the home, but also being safe in an environment because your brother's there.
Yeah.
So...
You got to check in, buddy. I feel like that's a win-win situation.
I mean, I had a check-in buddy, and I was living with family.
I know. I don't know what happened with yours. I couldn't tell you. But I was partially there, and I still couldn't tell you what happened because that was quite a ridiculous time.
Sorry.
There was another time you wanted to drive to upstate New York. Is that what you're talking about?
That was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But wasn't there... Oh, there was the time that you wanted to drive to Georgia. And they wouldn't let you do that either.
I don't remember that time.
Remember? To get your car.
Oh, yeah.
Or just fly there and then drive back.
Yeah,
And they wouldn't let you drive back alone.
That was before I
No,
got a car.
Yeah.
I was going to
earlier
get
than that.
my grandma, my father promised me a car, and it was in Georgia. And so I was trying to find a way to get it. And I was like, oh, well, me and Jude can go down.
Yeah.
And she's a good driver, so we'll just drive it back up. And there, everybody was like,
No. But this was 2 women, okay?
this was 2
I mean,
women
we were
and
in our
a very
early
experienced
20s.
driver.
And I had been driving for over 4 years at that point.
Yeah.
And it was like, why can't we just fly down there and drive the car back? Like, that's how we can get the car
Absolutely
back here. No
not.
problem.
And what's crazy is the fact that my same brother was able to do that same feat with a moving van and his car on the back. And he drove like overnight
In a snowstorm.
with our friend.
With our friend Mosey.
Yeah.
And
And
they broke down multiple times. And like because of the white out snow,
it was
they got like they had to go off the side of the road. Like there was multiple problems.
So many issues with that. We were trying to drive in the summer when it was like
Yeah. No.
Clear road.
Yes. Nope.
nothing.
Nope.
It's because we're women.
Answers no. We're women.
Yeah. So dumb. Anyway.
So another controversial topic is body art.
AKA tattoos.
Tattoo. You do whisper right now. You know that?
What?
You're whispering.
I am?
Yeah.
I am not whispering anymore.
Yes, body art is a very controversial topic.
It really is.
I wanted a tattoo when I was young.
Me too.
I wanted 3.
Young as in how old?
Just a little bit younger than you, actually. I was like 16 when I wanted them.
Yeah. I was like in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I want a tattoo. I wanted a poinsettia on the back of my shoulder.
I wanted a basketball-shaped heart, and I wanted a heart surrounded by a crown for Queen of Hearts. And then I wanted a picture or like my mom's name on me.
My basketball trainer has a heart with a basketball.
Yeah, it seems so cool.
Yeah.
Because I really loved basketball at the time. So, I mean, I still do, but
then you'd be like, if I still had that tattoo, I don't know how I feel about it.
I would have to change it from a basketball to hockey.
Which is partially why 16-year-olds shouldn't be getting them.
Yes, but I feel like the mom one and the Queen of Hearts one I would never regret.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's just it. Like, some of them you would and some of them you wouldn't. And it's challenging to decide which. That discernment piece hasn't come. It's hard to know. What do I want for the rest of my life?
In the Bible, it doesn't say, like, you shouldn't get tattoos, but in the Bible, it says that you're supposed to, respect your body, and it's a temple and all that good jazz, which is, cool and all. But I feel like because my body won't go with me when I die, I should be able to do whatever I want with it.
Right.
As long as it doesn't become like an obsession that you put above God.
Right.
Because some people do that.
Yeah.
But I think if it's something meaningful that you've thought through, I don't see a problem with that. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of Christians sometimes judge people for the way they look, especially like body art. When you see someone with a lot of body art, it's like,
Or piercings.
It's like, oh, they definitely are not a Christian. Like,
And that's not true.
And that's our first job, is not to judge others.
Right.
So, yeah.
But I feel like that's very common.
It's like, oh, they didn't brush their hair today and came to church, and you're going to judge them. It's the same thing, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, they chose to do that.
Yeah.
As long as they're doing it in a way that's still glorifying to God, it shouldn't be wrong.
It shouldn't. But like I said.
I mean, I was never told I couldn't get a tattoo. I just decided that I didn't really feel like I wanted that permanently on my body yet.
Well, me and WC were told we couldn't get
That's
tattoos.
true.
Like
You were.
my mom said.
At least that's what my mom is claiming now. I can't remember what she said back then, but she now says, I never said you couldn't do that.
I just said you wouldn't live at my house anymore.
I was saying you probably wouldn't like it because there's a lot of needles involved. And yeah, instead you've been told you can't live at home anymore if you get that.
I've been told when I move out of the house, I can get one. But that also just comes down to preference, I think, because first of all, if you are of age and you've thought it through, it's something meaningful, I feel like the reason your parents would say no is because they don't like tattoos or they think something wrongly of it. But if your intentions aren't to be negative, then I don't really see a problem with it, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like, you don't like tattoos. I get that. I understand that. But I do like tattoos.
Now, none of your other siblings have tattoos.
No.
Just your in-laws.
Yes. Both of my in-laws. 2 of the 3.
Yeah.
2 of the 4. Forgot about that.
That 4th one that entered this year.
4th one just entered. Oh my goodness.
So the 2 girl in-laws
Okay.
have tattoos. The 2 African males do not.
Interesting. Thoughts on that?
I don't know. Like, I didn't even think about it because,
Is it really popular in Africa to get tattoos?
Well, it's a different kind of. I think it's different.
Well, body markings, like,
it's usually religious too.
More religious in Africa, as
in
opposed
Africa and other countries,
in most countries in Africa, as opposed to here, where it's more of a symbol of like, check out my artwork.
Or even if it's not to show off to other people, but it's for yourself.
It's for yourself. Yeah. I don't know. It's a tough subject. Like when I was growing up, it was a hard no. It's a hard no, and it's still a no. But like the only reason why I don't have tattoos now is because of the way my mom was able to talk to me and just like, I wouldn't say manipulate, but just like give me something more to think about when it came to tattoos. Because if y'all didn't know, I'm Black, right? So
you couldn't tell from the pictures.
You couldn't tell from the pictures. I'm a Black Caribbean woman. There's a lot of stipulations or like stereotypes in comparison to a white woman or whatever. Like if they were to get whatever they wanted to get, they're not looked at the same way. Like if a Black girl walked in with a tattoo, they already had an eccentric name. They already had like the hair, you know. Yeah. So there's a lot that comes with it. And when you go into a workplace, if you want to be seen as a certain person, you couldn't have all these things. Like I wasn't allowed to lock my hair for a really long time because of that as well. Because it was just like, oh, if you go into a workplace, they're going to just think that you're disgusting because your hair is not, you know, taken care of or whatever. And I just thought that was so stupid and like completely discriminatory. Like just
it is
and racist. It's like you can't tell me what to do with my hair. It's my hair. Yeah. You know,
all because of my skin tone.
All because of my skin tone. And I mean, I don't see it as any different. Like if a white person were to get dreads, I don't think that they would have the same
respect given to them.
As
same with tattoos, but it's more common now that it's more acceptable, I should say. Piercings and tattoos at most jobs are more acceptable because people are like, okay, well, this is, you know, times are changing. However,
definitely.
There is still a stigmatism. Is that the word?
I think so.
That goes with a person of color getting a tattoo.
Right.
Male or female.
And it's seen as like especially with like.
Just have to be careful. More careful than I would.
Right.
Which is sad, but true.
you walk into a space, and if you have like, especially if you have tattoos on your face, it's kind of like that's a little like where are you at mentally with that? Like, are you the kind of person that will come in like guns blazing crazy, or are you kind of person that's kind of just like, oh, I just really liked it and I wanted to put it on my face because this is what you get to see the fastest or whatever, you see my face. But I would never put a tattoo on my face. I'm like, no, thank you.
That would hurt so bad.
That's just too much. At that point, it's like, what? Well, I mean, I've seen
people who get eye tattoos.
Yeah, but not only that, but like so much happens to your face. Like in the winter, my face looks different than in the summertime. Like, and your tattoo would change with that.
I think
because it's on your face, it's for your skin. So, like, I don't know, it just seems weird to me. But it's also your face. Like, it's in everything, every picture.
Yeah,
mostly
passports,
picture of your foot, I guess.
Picture of your foot. You don't have a picture on your social security card, but those two main ones, passport and ID.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Silent.
She's really thinking on it.
I know.
Have you thought about that and considered that in your launch for this?
No.
I haven't. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not
to put it on your face. I meant like
I'm not trying to tell you.
Oh! I thought you meant putting on my face. But no. We're talking about that.
I have not considered it.
No, we're saying.
I mean, like, because you're a person of color as well. Yes. Have you considered how that's stigmatism?
Well, I do understand that. I have thought about it, but at the same time, I don't really care because I don't care if I'm black or if I was white. If it's something that I've thought of, and if somebody wants to judge me by that, so be it. Go ahead. Like, that's not really my problem. But
that's true.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think we can break the stereotype, because just because I decide to get a tattoo and be a person of color doesn't mean I'm part of a gang or just whatever.
Oh yeah, I think that stereotype has died like in the early, I want to say like the early 2000s. Because when in New York, in Brooklyn, New York, especially for me, it was very prevalent, two gangs. There was the Crips and the Bloods, and like depending on what kind of ink you had, like you could, like it was just, and like if you see them with the teardrops, it was like, oh, they kill people or whatever. It was like so many different things, and like it really just depends on what area you grew up in as well. So like for you, and in your quest to get a tattoo, you're not doing it maliciously. You're not doing anything that would be derogatory or like explicit or just like, what are you laughing at?
The mom had it.
Oh yeah.
She had the B word in giant font across her chest.
You didn't watch the show? The show is hilarious.
It's huge. And so like they refer to her as the mom with the B tattoo.
Yes.
It's so funny. But again, it's part of the stereotyping of like, well, clearly you're dressed that way and you have all these tattoos, so but there's something more going on.
She explained herself after that point.
Yes,
she kind of did. Like, this is what I wanted. I don't care what anybody thinks.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, if you're doing something and it's not going to like hurt anybody or whatever, like, and even if it did, like you said, it's something that you thought about and something that you would want to have, and you're not putting it out there for the world to see if it's something. Depending on where you put it,
something to you.
If it means something to you.
Do you have a verse reference that you wanted to put in it as well, or just the picture that you didn't talk about it on here, but that's okay.
Oh yeah. So the tattoo I was thinking of. I am adopted. Giving too much information about myself, but that's from Africa. So
from another country, she means.
Oh my gosh, sorry.
From the United States.
Don't start sharing your social security number now.
So
like, come on, ladies.
I want to get an outline of this continent with the heart of the country that I was born in. Because it's something meaningful. It's something that is personal and important to me. I thought about it. It's not something that it's just like
she woke up one day and was like, you know what? I want to do this. It's like,
and then you just drew it in permanent marker and was like, yeah, I do like that.
Right. So it's something I've thought about for quite a few years now. And I will be getting it at one point or another. I just have to
have you done the long-term temporary tattoo to see how it looks and where you want to put it? Because that's
an
another,
option.
yeah, those are nice options because then
Yeah,
you
I
can
think
decide
stick
where.
on?
Yeah, well,
No. Like
it's more temporary, so it like lasts like 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can put it on your arm or wherever you think you might want to have it. So you'd be like, yeah, I do like it there or not.
Mhm.
Like,
That's true.
those are nice.
those are some good options.
Yeah, so you could definitely get like a temporary tattoo. They have them and you can make your own design and then you get to like just see what it's like for a couple weeks on wherever you want to put it. And it is a nice way to like find out exactly where you want it placed and the size of it and all that stuff because it's a cheaper version that is removable in the end, but it's permanent and it's semi-permanent. So it's like, it stays on for longer than a day.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's a really cool option. I don't know. Just a thought.
So
Okay.
as Judith was saying, temporary tattoos are an option. They're a viable option. They make a lot of sense. And that way you don't have to have something permanent, but it just gives you like the feeling so that when it does come to making that decision whether or not you want to get the actual tattoo, you'll be like, well, I've had a tattoo and I really liked it. It didn't change anything about me. It didn't change like my moralities or what, like it didn't make me into some punk or whatever,
Or
Mhm.
opposite of punk.
And so then you're like, all right, well, cool, I would rather have a tattoo than not have a tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do I think on that?
Have you given those a thought before? Yeah.
To be honest, like not really, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Like the
No.
only negative I would say to it is they can be expensive if it's like a nice one, like a nice fake tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're putting something permanent on your body, I would spend a little money to try it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, a Sharpie is also a nice cheap option. If you have someone who can draw nicely and say, hey, can you draw this picture on my arm right here?
Well,
Mhm.
okay, time out. First of all, two things, right? If you're gonna get a tattoo, it cannot be cheap because you're gonna regret that person who did it. Like,
Oh yeah, no.
It's
When
gonna
you
be
do the real
terrible.
one, yeah.
Mhm.
You're gonna be disappointed, and then you're gonna feel like you just wasted your money trying to do something cheap. Next, if you do something that's if you do something and you have a really good artist, that the other thing about it is like if you have a good artist and you really really like the way it looks and like he did a great job, you're just going to be like, okay, we'll take all my money and do another one and another one and another.
Right.
So there's two things about it when it comes to costs. It's like if you go cheap, then you're going to regret it, but if you go like within your price range and it's a really good artist and they like you gain a rapport with them, you might just end up spending more money anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it is expensive, like no matter which way you go.
Mm-hmm.
The healthy
there
way.
are, well, I know, like, so some of my friends who have tattoos, like, some of them would go and get them, like, just like random for random reasons. Like, I remember when I was working at Crate and Barrel in the city on a Friday 13th, they were just like, oh, we can go to the tattoo spot and like get a free tattoo.
What?
And the only thing about it is that they would put a 13 in the tattoo. So it didn't matter what kind of tattoo you got, there would be a 13 in it because it was Friday the 13th.
Mhm.
Okay, no.
Actually,
But
now
a
that
free
you say
tattoo is a free
that,
tattoo.
no, now that you say that, on Friday the 13th, this in October it was, I think, or the month before. Nope,
No.
not October, September.
Yeah.
That's when I got my piercing because the tattoo place I went to had all tattoos and piercings for $13.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but that's weird that you have to get a 13 in it. That's like,
I mean,
creepy.
I don't know. I mean, that was kind of like,
a little
that was
strange.
years ago, one.
Yeah.
And two, it's not that strange. Like, if we were to Google it right now, like,
all the tattoos with 13 in it.
Tattoo.
No, I mean like because you spent all this time and thought putting in a design and then you have to put a 13 in it. That's what I mean by strange.
Well, I mean, that's if you get it on the 13th. You don't have to. It's just
It's free.
it's
$3.
either yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
so
yeah, tattoos are a lot, and they are permanently affixed to your body.
mm-hmm.
So it's a lot to think about for sure.
Mhm.
like I have scars on my skin. Like I have different scars, different places, and I kind of feel like those are my tattoos because they're not going anywhere.
I mean, they're permanent.
Yeah.
You know, this one I added to my hand the other day.
I just added this one
Got
too.
lots.
You see that?
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Well, the people can't
you.
see it, so
No, but we can see it.
we can see it.
But
Yeah. So
scars are to be worn with pride in their stories. If you can remember the stories. Because I can't always remember the stories where they came from.
I have one good scar on my knee that I
You
know
have a good story.
that I know the story for that one. It was a terrible scar that I will forever remember. Only because I was at a camp, my grandfather's camp, and it was swim day. We were supposed to go to the YMCA to swim, and I was playing tag on concrete with other people, and I either tripped or was pushed. I don't remember that part, but I went down and scraped my knee to the white meat.
Ooh,
White meat on my skin.
I'm white under there.
And I said, I'm white under there. And I was like,
I know, I've heard this story before.
and then I was like one of the only people to stay behind because you can't go into the water with blood
Huge
coming out of
splash.
me.
Yeah.
If it was like a little scrape, I would have been fine. But it was like,
Oh.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that sounds painful. Mm-mm.
Yes. The scars are the memories we keep.
I mean, I don't think you can go into a pool with a tattoo when you first get it either.
No, you're not
Yeah, you're not
supposed to.
get it wet.
Same
You're
thing
not
with
supposed to get it
the
wet, right?
piercing.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's true. You can't get it wet. So what do you do? How do you take a shower? Or what did you do? How did you take a shower?
I just showered. Normally.
Well, yeah, like your belly button piercing.
Yeah.
You just clean it in the shower.
Oh, so it can get wet then.
Yeah. But you're not supposed, you shouldn't like be submerged in chlorinated water.
Oh.
Like there's a difference between.
I don't know.
Even like sweat and stuff, you're supposed to clean it immediately.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to get it really wet. Even swimming, you're not supposed to go in oceans or anything. Like the first 2 months, but I did all of that.
2 months?
What?
That's insane.
I mean, WC. Forgot we're calling her WC on here. WC 2 months.
See?
Look at her.
Oh my gosh,
I
appreciate.
I saw it on Instagram.
Just had to let you know.
I was like, girl, you've been at school. What? You've been gone from the house less than 60 days. Here she be showing up with her
less than 60
belly
days.
pierced.
It's been more than 60 days.
She just loves us.
Has it?
At that point?
At that point.
You went in when? Late August?
Thank you.
August 18th.
Yeah,
March,
it's
April,
almost
May,
October 18th.
Today is October 18th.
Oh, true. Today is October 18th.
We are recording on October 18th.
So it's been 60 days.
It's been 60 days. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Sure.
And in that 60 days, she didn't get the tattoo, but she got the piercing.
I feel like I've been here for years.
Oh, brother.
Well, you have been for years. Every time you went to visit a sibling over the past several years.
I know, yeah, true.
Yeah.
It's just a little different because you're the student this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I mean, like, okay, what's another controversial topic?
Did we come up with one?
I don't think so.
Awkward.
Controversial topic.
I got one.
Oh, what you got?
Yankees versus Red Sox.
So annoying, right?
I'm kidding.
Yankees are the best.
I don't feel like talking about it, but I was just like, that's kind of controversial.
Well, Winnie doesn't really watch.
Oh, that's true.
Baseball. You watch baseball, Way?
Nope.
Oh, basketball. Okay. You watch basketball.
Basketball.
So I wouldn't say like Knicks and the Celtics. That's not really. I'd say Celtics and the Lakers.
Oh, Celtics.
Okay.
It's her brother.
It's her brother.
No, he's a Warriors
It's brothers.
fan. My brother's not a Celtics fan.
Yeah.
No, I know.
One brother's a Celtics fan. One brother's a Warriors fan. I'm not trying to say names on here. We're not trying to blow up their spot, but you know.
And
you know who you are.
The other brother.
If you even listen to us, we get like 9 listens a week.
This is true.
Controversial topic. The amount of time and effort that people have to put into something to become internet famous. Go.
I don't know that that's controversial.
That's not controversial.
It's ridiculous.
It's factual. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You don't think it's ridiculous?
I didn't say it wasn't ridiculous.
That's what I think about it. The fact that it's controversial because these people, there are people that try so hard and they get nowhere. And then there's other people that try so hard and they get somewhere really fast. It's like, what?
Or there's people that don't try at all and then boom, they have a podcast.
And then they're
like
famous.
Like that girl.
Or they're just famous people. And then boom, they have a podcast and they're great.
Well, the girl that did the one phrase on some guys that like video and it like spread across the country like wildfire. I'm not going to say it because WC is young.
Yeah.
But
yeah, WC is young. She's a babe.
But the girl, she said the one thing and then she got her own podcast and like people are actually listening to her. She had 2 seconds on a camera and said something.
2 seconds?
I don't know. It was like a minute video or like a minute or less video. So, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway. That's
what I'm saying. Is like some people have to work really, really hard and like do a lot of stuff to actually become internet famous, and other people accidentally become internet famous overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just because
it's because of people.
We just so happen to, you know.
It all just depends on what the hook is.
Yeah, the hook, the niche, whatever. You know. And I mean, it all depends on like, I mean, but at the same time, like, there's people that just like they keep putting things out, and slowly but surely it grows a following, and it works. But other times, and it really like it is really not like some, you know, I don't know. It's not like some thing that just like, you know, flash boom, there it is. It's.
Boom, there it is.
It's just happenstance is all.
Yeah.
It happens.
It's wild.
It is, I know.
You know, we've been putting out our TikTok videos and we're trying to get them as boosted as we can. And a lot of people watch them, but not a lot of people comment on them or like them. So they don't go very far.
Well, I mean, some of the things.
But then there's a couple that are like, oh, we got something there.
Yeah.
Then we're like, how do we make more like that one since that one was more populated somehow?
I think the biggest thing that we like deal with is like trying to convert followers from one social media to the next social media to the next social media, and then to listen to the podcast.
Yes,
that's where it's been the biggest struggle. But if we did like one wacky video and then be like, oh yeah, come listen to our podcast, and then people do. Then maybe that would work too. What do you think, WC?
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like it is really easy for some people, but those people might not even want it. So they're probably like irritated that they got it sometimes. And then
That's true.
I feel like some people are naturally just more set up to do social media influencing than other people. Like that's a gift for some people and how they use their platform. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
That is a good point.
What do you think?
Mhm.
Do you think we could get more famous on TikTok?
Absolutely.
Have you seen any of our videos?
I have
TBH?
not. No.
Oh, she said she saw them. Oh, you
No,
haven't.
she thinks we absolutely could get famous on there.
Oh.
Yeah.
She definitely has not seen them.
I have not. I haven't seen them.
Okay.
Do you have an account on there?
Yeah, I do.
You have a TikTok is what she's asking. Okay. Our TikTok is
kdjdlaugh.
yes.
I will
What's
make
yours?
sure I follow that.
So we've got quite a few things on there right now, and we're working on some more content.
Mm-hmm.
But people seem to like us, so
That's
So
good.
far.
so far we're just trying to get those people to go listen to our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want to see, you know. So come on,
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe that people just sometimes you have what it takes
Yeah.
for others to follow you and blow up your spot on there.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird, but somehow it works. I don't get it.
All right. What do you think about cancel culture? Did we talk about that?
No, we did not talk about that because it's not something that we like to talk about. It's controversial.
I also,
You're so
I
funny.
also have
WC,
not really
what do you
given
think?
that any thought.
Oh.
I haven't given that
okay.
any thought. I'm not really sure.
Mm-hmm. That's deep.
Okay.
All right, so real quick, why do you think college is worth it?
It gives you independence and helps you grow on your own. And it's good to just figure life out without, like, on your own and navigate it for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it also teaches you, like, a lot of different lessons.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I feel like every aspect of it is good for the most part, unless you get
Okay.
bad friends that influence you negatively.
Mm-hmm. And unless you are not a good student who can't handle
You can't handle it.
college education and need to just go into the trades.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's like a whole nother bucket of worms. But like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, some people just really can't do it, and that's okay.
That's okay.
And everyone has a different kind of college experience and a different story from it.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I would say college, all three colleges that I went to, they were worth it. I do have degrees, but at the same time, my degrees aren't helping me do my job today. So, like, that part makes it feel not worth it, and I'm paying back school and everything. So, I mean, if I go back to school now and I did something that's geared towards what I'm doing now, it's like, then it would make sense. But I mean, it is worth it in the end, because like having an education, being educated, period, is a beautiful, big thing. It's a big, beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, when I was 17-year-old and graduating from high school, and I was like, okay, I'm going off to college so I can get my business degree so I can open up my bakery. I was like all for it, like gung ho.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went and I got my associates, and then I finished that, and I was like, I don't want a bakery. I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started working at a school, and that's when I was like, okay, fine. I guess I'm really good at.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, you know, God showed me my talents later, and I was able to see that I am good at teaching.
Yeah.
And now, all these years later, I'm still trying to finish my teaching certification. I'm almost done, but you know, everybody's college story is different, and I'm not really great at school. I just try to work hard and do my best at it, so that I can get through it. But yeah,
so
yeah, the academics are definitely harder, and time management. So.
Yeah, which helps your life. It helps prepare you for the real world and life outside of your regular high school hours.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yes, college is a very different vibe where it can get you more prepared for what it's like to be in the workforce and what it's like to, you know, have to figure out when is work time, when is, entertainment time, when is I get to hang out with my friends time,
For sure.
when is eating time.
Being in school, like being in college, like especially when you're away, you have all kinds of different opportunities, and like you're independent, you're doing your own thing. So it's definitely got its benefits, and it teaches you how to be a citizen outside of that. Like once you come out of college, typically you're able to do things more independently, like go to the doctor, or laundry, and like making food and all that stuff. Like you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
life skills.
All right. Well, this has been a very productive recording.
Yeah. It's been great having you on, special guest WC.
Thank you. Great to be on.
I would hope that we could do another, like a part 2 of some controversial topics further down the line, maybe. And we'd love to have you back on for any other topics you'd like to talk about. Just let us know, and we'll set it up.
Thoughts and figures.
Sounds amazing.
We appreciate you taking the time to chat with us.
Being our second guest.
Woo woo!
Yeah, second guest.
That's right. This is our final episode for season 1.
Season 1, we're closing it out with this big.
And we'll be back in a month or so.
Just about, yeah.
With our next season.
With season 2.
Pretty hype about it.
Sure. Yep.
Hopefully some more TikTok in there in that time so we can really boost that up.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, this has been great.
Well, that was exciting.
We
had our very first guest. Well,
no, our second guest.
We had our second guest on.
Yeah, that was so exciting.
And it's pretty okay. So like, I know we talked about this during the episode about like age and everything. But like, it's just interesting to have the perspective of someone younger than us, like going through some of the same things that we've gone through.
Yeah, totally.
And then having a different perspective and having like a different thought, because for me growing up, there was a lot of no's in my life, and when
you're also the firstborn, so that changes things too.
That does change a lot of things. So
and you were in Brooklyn, so that changes things too.
Well, I'm just saying, like, there were a lot of no's for me, and like for our guest, who's just kind of like, yeah, I'm getting some no's, but like that's not going to necessarily deter me, because it's not something like the no's that she's getting isn't like,
it's not a hard.
It's not hard no's. It's all
just like, are you sure this is the choice you want to make?
Right. So like for us, when we got those hard no's, it just felt like it was just an impossible thing to get past. It's like, oh, it's a no, and then you get frustrated and upset about it. But and like, I mean, I'm not saying that I've never experienced soft no's, but it was like maybe a soft no for like, oh, Mom, can I get some McDonald's? And she's like, we have McDonald's at home, and then when we convince her later, because she's like, oh, I'm actually tired. Like, yeah, so we could get some
McDonald's is happening, right?
So it's not the same thing, but still. So I think that we were, for this being our season finale, I think it's pretty cool that we
sorry if that was too loud, guys.
I think it was pretty cool to be able to have this kind of conversation, and I look forward to talking about more things like this in season 2.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We have so much more we get to talk about. We already have things planned and ready to go.
Yeah.
And shows to, what's it called? When you do the thing where you talk about the show.
Shows to do the what?
Review shows.
The movie reviews. Yeah, for sure.
So, we've got some really fun stuff, and we're pretty excited about it. This chat with WC was super fun, and it was great to finally get her on.
Absolutely.
We've talked about it with her for a while, and so to get her thoughts and views on things was really nice.
Yes.
And yes, she was excited about it. Yes, she was tired because she's a college student and she stays up too late and does too many things. So
Yes.
we've all been there.
Yeah, for sure. So, yes, thank you so much, folks, for listening to our episodes. I hope you enjoyed them, and I hope to see you guys in season 2. Like,
yeah, maybe we can actually see you because mostly you just hear us, which is what she meant. So we hope that you continue to be good listeners and follow us to the next season so that you can hear us in season 2.
I mean, maybe we could do a live or something, you know?
Also a thought, we could do a live now that we have more time on our hands.
Oh, never that.
No. Turns out, you think you're busy in college and then you go to real life and yeah.
Ain't it fun?
Living in the real world. Oh, maybe we should call it Real World with WC.
Ain't it good? Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Moot point in the real world.
Moot point in the real world.
This has been Katie
and JD.
Laugh Out Loud, the podcast. It's been a blast for season 1. So happy to have finished this season.
God bless.
And we just inquire you always to subscribe,
share,
and enjoy a good laugh. This has been Katie and JD Laugh Out Loud. Peace
out.